to the RunnerX podcast, where we talk about all things running. As many runners know, it's 90% mental. So join Coach Valerie and Coach Caroline as we go through the mental side of running. Welcome back to Tough Love Tuesday. And today I'm going to revisit another topic that I've talked about in the past, but it just keeps coming up over and over and over again, so it feels like it needs repeating, is this idea that as runners, it has to be hard. We have to pound the pavement. We have to run the miles. We have to sweat. We have to grind. We have to be sore. That's not the way running is meant to be, okay? Running isn't hard. It's breathing that's hard. Okay, a great example that Valerie and I were talking about recently is this idea that the reason why HIIT or high intensity training or Tabatas have become so successful and have become so wonderful for weight loss and for working on your cardiovascular system is because your heart is a muscle. Okay, so it needs to be challenged, but it can't be challenged for 2 hours at a time. In order for it to be challenged, it needs to ramp up and then come back down, and then ramp up and come back down, okay? So that's why Tabatas and high-intensity training work so well. It pushes your heart to the point where you just feel like it's going to explode, right? For a little while, it stresses it, but then you back it off and let it come back down. That is how your heart muscle gets better at doing what it's doing. But if you were to just sit on a bike and mindlessly ride for an hour and go, oh, that was a great workout. No, you really didn't do anything for your heart. You didn't work it at all. You didn't help your cardiovascular system. You just rode for an hour, okay? So the same goes for running. As you're learning to run, you want to make it so that it's not about the muscle, that it's more about the cardiovascular system. It's about your breathing and it's about your heart rate. So if you use muscle elasticity that we teach you by using the hamstrings muscle elasticity, by pulling the foot off the ground, then you pull in response to the fall, which again, guys, does not have to be as dramatic as we kind of show you. It really is just losing balance. It's just falling forward enough, having your ankles, hips, shoulders, and ears all in a line and just falling enough so that you move your feet in response to that fall. It's really that simple. And so many people come to me as the mindset coach for RunRx and say, I don't know why I'm not progressing. I don't know why my shins still hurt. Or in some cases, my shins aren't hurting, but I'm not getting faster. I'm not getting the idea of this pose, fall, pull. And every time it's because they're afraid to fall. We are so conditioned to be afraid to let go. But you're going to let go. That's gravity, right? So you have to really learn to just let go, let your body fall, and then trust that your feet will move in response to that, okay? That is really what it's about. But you don't practice this by going out and doing 3 miles right off the bat. You practice it in a little section of your driveway, right? You practice it with drills. You learn to hold the pose, right? And hold your body up in pose. Your from your hips to your head is 68% of your body weight. So I'm going to warn you, if you're a little overweight, it's going to be harder. And then your head is about 30 pounds, okay? So regardless of what your body weighs, your head weighs about 30 pounds. So for me, if I'm 30 pounds overweight and it's mostly in my midsection because that's just how it lines up for me, and I've got 30 pounds of head, I have to really start working on my core and really being able to hold myself upright in a nice, almost plank position, for lack of a better word, but as I'm falling. Remember, it's ankles, hips, shoulders, ears. So it's not just shoulders, hips, and ears, right? I don't want my head to come too far forward. I don't want my shoulders to come back. I want to be in a nice line as I fall and then let my muscle elasticity work with it. So the job or the how is simply that. It's pose, fall, pull. Everything else is a nuance. Everything else is about running more effortlessly, running faster, and being able to fall at a higher angle, right? So when you go out and you think this has to be hard, I have to pound the pavement, I hate running, remember that is all affecting your body. It's affecting your heart rate. It's affecting your muscles, how they react. And so you're making it more difficult on yourself. So what I'd like to challenge you this week, and I've challenged this before, is really to let go and to start working on your fall. Okay, we're going to be posting on our website here pretty soon a number of affiliate links for different products that we do recommend. And we have a couple Amazon links for some bands that we recommend. And if you've done any of the lives with Valerie, she's shown you the bands where you can kind of hold yourself up and allow yourself to unweight and allow yourself to fall and kind of get that feeling of the fall without actually quote unquote falling. Okay. So that's your challenge for this week, is going out there, maybe find a nice big hill and run down it. Okay. Trust me, you're an adult. Nothing's going to happen. Run with abandon. Let yourself go. Let your thoughts just release. And hopefully you will have a wonderful experience in running pain-free. And we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you for joining us on the RunRx podcast. If you'd like to know more, join us at www.runrx.fit. And if you have additional questions that you'd like answered on the podcast, email us at support@runrx.fit.